get the hotel lobby, Emirates running to the money.
Two gal on my side, me in the middle, instant and foreign like they do.
I'm trying to get that good lighting.
Told me that you party with girls. I told her that I party with friends.
Hi guys! Today we're going to be discussing how African parents care too much about what people think and the impact that has on them and their kids. Of course, from the perspective of a Nigerian with Nigerian parents. The reason why I'm mentioning Nigerians so frequently is because I'm Nigerian, so yeah. I know that there are other nationalities, other cultures, other traditions that also deal with these kind of things. Nneka is going to be joining me. Go Nneka. As part of a series. I don't know how many parts it's going to be just yet. Today is going to be part 1, and we're going to be discussing the personal aesthetic choices that people make and the ways in which their parents and elder people respond to them. Alright guys, so I know that in this video I'm going to be focusing heavily on piercings, but that's because that is what both Nneka and I have personal experiences with. However, personal aesthetic / self-expression in this case can be tied to tattoos, hair color, hairstyle, you name it, it's limitless. I have my septum, I have my snake bite, I have a regular tongue ring, I have a smiley, and I've got my ears pierced. And they're also gauged to a size 2, and I'm not going any bigger. I refuse. Hopefully I stick to that, but that's where we are right now.
So it's mainly my dad who had like a strong reaction to it. So like I had like braided my hair, and I was like really proud of myself, like I did it myself, and I took a selfie and I sent it to my dad, like, look dad, like look what I did, like, you know, I did the, and then he was like, are my eyes deceiving me, or is that a piercing? And I was like, what? He's like, is that a piercing? And I was like, yes, it's a piercing. And he just went off. He was like, that's not why we sent you to America.
My mom also made a very similar comment, like, if you didn't go to America, would you look like this?
Oh my gosh. I was like, first of all, like people in Africa pierce everything. Like, it's not an American thing. But anyways, he was like, we want you to be successful, like, we don't want you to derail your life. And I was like, Dad, like my God. I literally, this was in March, right? And I've had the piercing since November, but he didn't know. Like, he didn't know I had the piercing.
Yeah.
You know? The picture was sent like months after I got the piercing. I'm still getting the same grades. I'm still the student I've always been. I'm still your daughter. Yeah. There's nothing's gonna change about me. Like, I'm not gonna derail my life. He's like, I don't know that. Like, he was like, oh. He was just like, don't do this to me. This is what he said. He was like, how am I supposed to, like, you know, bring you in front of my colleagues, my peers, my friends? I won't be able to do that with you having like a hook in your nose. Like, I was like, Dad, my guy, like, relax.
Yo.
There's no difference between the piercing in my nose and the piercings in my ears, which you gave to me.
I'll never forget how my mom, like, after I'd gotten my septum ring, told me that she wanted me to flip it up anytime I was out with her because she didn't want people to think that she was a bad parent. And I honestly feel like this is a mentality that many Nigerian parents and African parents have because they care so much about what their neighbor thinks, especially when it comes to their kids. And my feelings about that is if your friends are judging your parenting based on how your grown child chooses to personally express themselves and not by their character or their morale or any of that, then you need to change your friends. You cannot be surrounded by people who are putting unnecessary pressure on you like that. I really feel like it also affects mental health in that it can create anxiety. I know how anxious I am when I'm around my parents' friends and my piercings are out because I don't want my parents' friends to think that my parents are bad parents, and they're not. I think Nigerian parents need to trust how they've raised their kids and know that just because her hair is blonde or he has a ring in his nose, like that does not define him as your child. It doesn't define him as your child, it doesn't define him as a person. There are so many chapters to someone, so choosing to define an entire book by a couple of sentences to me just isn't fair at all. There are so many chapters to someone, so choosing to define an entire book by a couple of sentences to me just isn't fair at all. There are so many chapters to someone, so choosing to define an entire book by a couple of sentences to me just isn't fair at all. I feel as though as a Nigerian, if you do things that are not with the norm, then you're seen as someone who's disrespecting their culture and disrespecting their tradition. Which I've been told before, that I disrespect culture and disrespect tradition because of my piercings. And that really hurts because someone's piercing, someone's tattoos, someone's hair color does not dilute how much of their tradition and their culture they hold. I mean, if we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty, piercings did not start in the West. Piercings started way back in the Middle East and then migrated to India. I think naturally as humans, of course, we tend to judge people by how they look initially, and then after we get to know them, we move forward. But that's everywhere. But having the pressure of your parents feeling like they're bad parents, or being told that you don't, or being told that you're a bad representation of your parents, or that you've forgotten your culture, or that you've forgotten your tradition, or that you're disrespectful because of your piercings, that's mind-blowing to me. So many times I've been told your body is your temple, the Bible, this religion, and you know, piercings are mentioned in the Bible. In biblical times, people had piercings. People that were rubbing shoulders with Jesus had piercings, and Jesus wasn't there condemning any of them. So
you know, people associate, like, I don't know, piercings, tattoos, whatever, even coloring your hair, like, with sort of, like, delinquency.
I got my blonde hair and went to Nigeria. I had so many comments. The first one, I went to the nail salon, and the woman doing my nails was like, "Don't you think your hair is too loud?" And I was like, "Too loud? You mean, what?" And then my grandmother made little comments like, "Why don't you braid your hair like brown?" And when we drove to the village, the women that work in the kitchen were like, "It actually suits you." And I was just like, wow, yeah, thank you. It, like, if people just sat back and realized that this hair actually doesn't look terrible on me.
Yeah, it looks nice. It's just not what everyone else is doing.
Exactly.
Nice. No, yeah, people are so bold, actually, to be honest. Like,
So bold.
Like, and someone will just walk up to you like, "But don't you think that it would be better if your hair looked..."
But don't you think that...
Wait, do I know you? Are we walking down... Do I know you from anywhere? No. What? People are so bold. Like, they will really, like, jump into your lane.
I don't know why that is. But you know what? Like, I feel as though it's coming from a good place, because I think, you know, like, it takes an entire village to raise a child mentality. But it's not cool when you're just, like, you're abusing that power and insulting me.
Oh my gosh. Like, I remember, okay, so I went to NYC camp, right?
Yeah.
But this girl I knew,
Yeah.
and she had, like, a mohawk. Like, she had a mohawk, right?
Yeah.
Red. It was dyed red, like, the middle part was dyed red.
Mm-hmm.
And, bro, from all, like, the people in charge, like, she got so much... Like, I can't even...
For having a mohawk?
Yes, for having a mohawk. They were like, no, you have to shave your head. Like...
What was their reasoning?
Huh?
What was their reasoning?
Because it's not, quote-unquote, normal. It's not normal.
Wait, they literally said because it's not normal.
Yes, it's not normal. Like, you don't look like a girl. Like, you need to...
Why do I have... Why do I have to look like a girl?
Exactly. One. Like, and who's to say that girls don't have... Like, there's so many things wrong with, like, that were wrong with everything that was happening. Like, and she was like, oh, I'm not gonna do it, but they really harassed her, like, actually, like, she always got called into, like, the office, whenever we would go anywhere, like, whenever we would, like, be out of the dorm rooms or whatever, and so it ended up just becoming such a hassle that she ended up braiding her hair, and then, like, you know, putting it down so that it would cover the sides, because, you know, the sides.
That's so sad.
No, yeah, she was like, there was one day she was crying, because she was just like, they were just giving her so much stress. And I was like, but for what? Like, she's doing everything that everyone else is doing, but her hair is just, you know, a little different. This is not affecting anything. The only reason it's affecting anything is because you guys are
making it
a big deal. Like, she's walking around minding her business, doing her thing. But that's not to say that other people, like, you know, even other students or corpers, whatever, weren't, like, you didn't give her looks, because she did get looks from other people. Like, you feel comfortable enough to express yourself in a different way. Like, I feel like people wish they were allowed to, and that's why
or that they could, and not
like,
care what people think.
Yeah, that they didn't feel stressed about it. And they'll just call you out because you're not conforming like the rest of us, or the rest of them. There's so many more, like, important issues to be concerned with other than how someone presents themselves.
I think if African parents, Nigerian parents, stopped caring about what their neighbor thought and trusted their parenting and knew that they raised their children to be good people and really stood firm in that belief, then something as trivial as a piercing wouldn't be that big of a deal. I hope this video helps at least one person feel more comfortable in the personal aesthetic choices that they make, and even though it does not necessarily go with the status quo, that you can feel comfortable and accept yourself and love yourself fully and wholeheartedly, and know that just because you don't necessarily look like everyone else or like the same things that everyone else likes, it's okay. It's okay. You're perfect. And the parents out there who resonate with this topic, please try not to hold on to what this person thinks or that person thinks or your neighbor thinks or your colleague thinks, especially when it comes to your child, because you know the person that you raised, and just because your child chooses to express themselves aesthetically in a certain way does not define who they are altogether. Someone can have piercings all over and be one of the best people in character, and someone else can have none and be a horrible person. The way someone looks from the outside does not define who they are internally, and that's what I'm trying to get at.
I just hope, like, eventually, or as time progresses, like, we sort of mature as a society.
Yeah.
And just embrace expression, or embrace freedom of expression, and just don't judge people by their parents.
If there's a topic in particular that you'd like to be discussed, shoot me a quick email. Don't forget to mention whether you like to be anonymous or not, whether you want to discuss it with me on camera, and your nationality. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, because these videos are just gonna get more lit. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share with everyone you know, subscribe, and put on the notification button so you know every time I put up a video. Every time I put up a video, which, God willing, every Wednesday.
Bye, YouTube!
You're so cute. See you later!
You're the one